Hello, YouTube. It's me, John Avenger, once again. Excuse me, and welcome back to Movies A to Z month. This time we're talking about a movie with the letter F from 2003, I think. Or yeah, that's part of a long-running franchise that I've seen most of them. The only one I haven't seen is the eighth movie and the spinoff, and that is Fast and the Furious, Tokyo Drift. The only this is the first like not prequel, but like its own standalone movie because this one is kind of different from the other ones, mainly because it doesn't have Paul Walker, but it was before he died, so he has an excuse. He was doing other films. This basically has Hans, the Asian guy from the other films, and this has Bow Wow, who's pretty decent in the movie, and has Lucas Black, who is kind of a weak lead, but he's still better than Scott Eastwood. Let's read the synopsis. With more mind-blowing stunts and heart-pounding racing sequences than ever before, the Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift is a high-octane installment of the hit movie franchise built for speed. When convicted street car racer Sean Boswell, Lucas Black, tries to start a new life on the other side of the world, his obsession with racing sets him on a collision course with the Japanese underworld. To survive, he will have to master drifting, a new style of racing where tricked out cars slide through hairpin turns, defying gravity and death for the ultimate road rush. And that's basically the movie's plot in a nutshell. This is the first movie to make the least amount of money before all the sequels came out, like Four, Fast Five, when The Rock was added, and those horrible movies that came out after Furious Seven, Fate of the Furious, and uh, Hobbs and Shaw. The reason I don't like those, and I think this movie's okay, is because this, even though it doesn't have Paul Walker, it does its own thing. It's not trying to recreate the magic of the other films, and it's not an unnecessary sequel or a spin-off. Basically, the film takes place mostly in Tokyo, Japan. There's a lot of Asians in the movie. I think there's another actress in the movie as well that was in this movie. And the reason it didn't make as much money as the first two is because, no Vin Diesel. He only makes an uncredited cameo at the very end. Spoiler alert. Paul Walker's not here. Michelle Rodriguez is not here. The film is short. It's only an hour and 44 minutes, so it goes by real quick. And like I said, there's not too much CG because the fourth one had way too many CGI cars, and there's way too many characters. There's plot points in the movie that don't, fall through. But I'll get to that one when I review that one. This is about the third one. The Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift was released in the US on June 16, 2006. So I said 2003. What was I thinking? That was Too Fast, Too Furious. The film achieved financial success, so it was not a flop, eventually grossing 158 million worldwide, and that's in 2006 money. However, it was the lowest grossing of the film franchise because it didn't have the recognizable stars, and it's basically the first movie in another location. Instead of California, wherever they are, they're in Japan. And it said it got generally negative reviews or critics disliking the screenplay, the dialogue, and the acting. Well, I think Bow Wow's fine. The rest of the cast is very hit and miss. I think Lucas Black tries, but his southern accent sounds kind of wrong for the role. Hans, the guy, I know people liked him in the other films. Why is he back in Fast 9 next year? I have no idea. He died in which one? Like in the fourth one? In the sixth one? Why is he back? I have no freaking clue. It's got a positive response for its direction. Yes, drifting sequences. It's different than the first two films, and it's in another country, and it's got different stakes. And the thing is that the film doesn't bother me too much because I see it as its own standalone movie, like freaking the Bourne Legacy, and it's entertaining for me enough. Who else is in the cast? You have Sun Kang, yeah, he's Han. You have Brian T as Takashi, the Sean's enemy in the film. You have Natalie Kelly, who's Neela, Takashi's girlfriend, who later falls for Sean. She's all right. I mean, I'll take her any day over Jordana Brewster and Michelle Rodriguez. They just do nothing for me. Sonny Chiba's in the movie in a cameo. He's Kamada, Takashi's uncle, who's the head of the Yakuza. You have Leonardo Nam. He's the other Asian guy. He was in that movie, The Perfect Score, with Chris Evans. Zachary Ty Bryan. This is one of his big feature film, successes after Home Improvement. He was in Home Improvement. You always have the always lovely Linda Boyd, Canadian actress. She plays Miss Boswell, Sean's mother, who's fed up with him moving Sean around, so she sends him to Tokyo to live with his father. You have Jason Tobin as Earl, who one of Han's friends. Kiko Katagawa as Reiko, Earl's friend, and then you have Nikki Griffin as Cindy, and then Vin Diesel as Dominic Toretto. At the very end, when he says, "Hey, what's up, guys?" and that's a cool cameo. I mean, it doesn't hurt the first two films. I mean, Paul Walker's not here because this is the only one that he's not in before he passed away. And I like the film okay. I don't love the movie, but I don't hate it. This is what the critics said. Eye-popping driving sequences, yeah, there's good real car sequences, coupled with a limp story and flat performances make this drift a disappointing follow-up to the previous films. In a way, I can agree with that, but it's not as bad as 4. 4 brought back Paul Walker and Vin Diesel and the rest of the gang, but it's so disjointed and there's too many things happening that I was not invested in the plot either. Most of it is Toretto and Brian fighting each other instead of the bad guys, and it just took me out of it. Here, it's standalone and it's short. But Justin Lin does a good job. I think he also did a good job with the third Star Trek movie, Beyond, because he's a better director than J.J. Abrams will ever be, because he doesn't use lens flares in his movie, and it's coherent, and he has love for the source material. Yeah, it says the Roger Ebert gave it 3 out of 4 stars, saying that director Justin Lin takes an established franchise and makes it surprisingly fresh and intriguing. Exactly. I don't want the same sequel every single time, guys. That's why I hate the rehash trilogy, because every single one of them is just a rehash of stuff we've seen before. Even when they try to do something different, like subverting your expectations, you still have elements we've seen before. Here, this is a standalone. It has nothing. It is connected to Furious 7 because Lucas Black makes a cameo in that movie, which is fine. He works better as a cameo anyway. As a lead, not so much. And it's not because he's Southern. Because my friend's not Sean. He's not Southern. He's not my friend anymore. My friend Tevia's from the South. He doesn't have a Southern accent. He's from Florida. My friend Levy's from the South. He's from Georgia. And my friend Josh Drake is from Tennessee. So I have Southern friends. I know what they sound like. It's just him. He's not really as charismatic as Paul Walker, or even The Rock, or Vin Diesel, or even freaking, I don't know. Even Tyrese Gibson is more of a intriguing character. But let's face it, I don't really watch these movies for the intriguing characters and plots. I watch it for the good action sequences, the beautiful girls that are there, and the thrill of the spectacle. That's why we watch these movies. The ninth movie was going to come out this year, and it was a freaking car doing Tarzan, flying from one thing to another. At least there's no shit like that in this movie. It is what it is, and it's not a great movie, but it's an okay time waster that you can watch. And it's not as ridiculous as the later films. In the later films, you have bad CGI, you have cars going through buildings, you have people jumping off of freaking freeways and not getting hurt or killed. You have a freaking in Hobbs and Shaw, Idris Elba gets hit with a freaking like truck or something, or like a bus, and nothing happens to him. I'm like, you guys have to put some realism into your movies. You can't just have things happening and say, "Oh, suspend your disbelief." I did that with the first 4 films. Once we got to 5, I'm like, you have to be a little bit less cartoonish and just do something different. Stop trying so hard to be like Mission Impossible, because you're not. You're so not. This is Fast and the Furious. People want to see fast cars, good action that's well shot. Justin Lin does a good job with the action, and some hot girls here and there, and some decent banter. We have that, and we're fine. But if you have these unbelievably stupid things, people are going to be not to be invested anymore. I was never going to see Fast 9 this year because the freaking Han coming back and there's no explanation. John Cena is the brother of Vin Diesel, and he was never mentioned in the first film or any of the sequels that Vin Diesel did. This one in a cameo, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Where the hell was John Cena in those other films? They keep bringing shit into Toretto's past that doesn't make any sense. You have freaking Charlize Theron in Fate of the Furious. Where the hell does she come from? I don't know. Then you have John Cena, who I love John Cena as a wrestler, and even as an actor, he works fine. I liked him in Bumblebee. I wanted to see more of him. But Then they're gonna pull that out of their ass, and then this movie is the lowest grossing. Give me a break. Hobbs and Shaw flopped, people. If you see its U.S. box office, it was a bomb in the U.S. Worldwide is what saved its ass. Well, you don't have the Asian freaking market to save your ass anymore. Bad movies. If Fast 9 is bad, it's gonna flop. I guarantee you, because the Asian market's not gonna be in full swing until next year. And you better hope to God that this coronavirus is over, because I want it gone, man. I want to go back to the theater and see movies like this, or the first Fast and the Furious, or freaking Mission Impossible, or the Marvel movies and the DC movies and the freaking animated movies that I like seeing. This year's been very rough, guys. I've been saying that since January, but I've been staying home and watching movies, and I'm continuing to for the juices in my brain to keep flowing, so I could do videos for you guys every single day. Not gonna leave no stone unturned. This movie's okay. I don't love it. I got it at Dollar Tree. I don't regret it. I have it digitally. And it is what it is. If you don't like it, I can understand. It's not the most beloved of the franchise, but it's the black sheep of the franchise. But I can handle it way more than some of the later sequels. Let me tell you, because they should have stopped after 7. They should have stopped. 8 was a forced sequel we didn't ask for, and Hobbs and Shaw is stupid. It is. It's stupid. Once you go through glass and get hit with a bus and you don't get hurt, yeah, I'm calling bullshit on that. Here, there's nothing like that. It's more grounded, and I like that. And that's what I respect about Justin Lin's take. And it wasn't the only one he directed. I like him as a director. He's done the other films too. Let me see. He did 6, which is one of the best ones. I think that's the last good one that I saw. Uh, that was the one of the last like coherent ones. He also did he's doing F9, but like I said, I'm not blaming him for it. I'm going to blame the freaking studio because 8 made $1 billion, so they want to make another billion. But again, the Asian freaking market is not going to save you. You can't just depend on them anymore because this year a lot of movies bombed even before this happened. Doolittle, The Turning, freaking Bloodshot. Yeah, all flops. Even Onward, the first Pixar movie of the 2020s, and it bombed. Lin is Taiwanese. Yeah, he's not. He wasn't as affected. He also did Ananopolis. I haven't seen that. He also did the fourth Fast and the Furious, which I was not a fan of that, but it was mostly the writing and the bad CGI, so that was not his fault. He was just doing a job. And he's also doing an untitled Fast and the Furious film. It's probably going to be 10. Please end it after that. We don't need any more. We're tired of these freaking movies. After 6 or 7, you should have stopped. I think we have enough. With Mission Impossible, we're getting 2 more. Then it's ending. We don't need prequels. We don't need spin-offs. We don't need, unless you're going to give Rebecca Ferguson a spin-off, then don't do it because I don't want to ruin a good thing. There was one shitty movie in that franchise and that was 2. Here, I think this one's okay. 4 sucks, and I'm not going to see Fate of the Furious and Hobbs and Shaw because they're unnecessary. This was necessary to bring a balance. You have the first 2 films with Paul Walker, and then you have this third one, which is a side project, and then the rest goes into the canon. So I'm fine with it. Just you should have stopped after Furious 7. No one was asking for any more. It's just a long franchise. Some franchises just need to die. Case in point, you don't need to give us a movie every year or 2 years. With the Marvel movies, we get a movie every year, even though this year hasn't happened yet, but we will in November. We're only getting 1. We're not getting 4. We're getting 1. And the delays don't bother me because I can wait. But some franchises just need to end. No more Terminator. No more Fast and the Furious after this. No more freaking shitty Star Wars sequels. We don't need any more. No more. They're doing the Hunger Games prequel now. I'm like, why? I already saw the 4 films before. They were fine. The first one had some problems with the editing, but at least I had a good story and I was invested in the characters. But anyway, if you've never seen this movie, give it a watch. It's a rental. I would give the highest recommendation is to watch it on Netflix or on Hulu or on cable. It's fine to watch once or twice. I own it because I want to hear the commentary from Justin Lin. He's a good guy. He's a good director. Right? He doesn't get mentioned a lot compared to other directors that, again, got the shaft or were hired and then they just did the bare minimum. Here, at least they tried. So That's all I can say. I'd rather watch this than Rise of Skywalker easily because it's shorter and it's not robbing me of 2 hours. So take that for what you will, but I like this movie for what it is. It's okay. It's not horrible. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.